Welcome to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another video. Now firstly, apologies over the last few days. The uploads haven't really been as constant as they usually are. I have been ill over the past few days. Hopefully you can't hear too much of that in this video. But today we are going to be looking ahead to March, for the month of March, having a look at the games that we've got coming up. What have we got to look forward to, and what potential tough visits have we got coming up in that month. So we're going to be having a look at all of our games in the month of March, and also at the end of the video we are going to be having a look at our rivals fixtures, having a look at Valencia, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, all of those teams. What sort of month have they got? Have they got any tricky tests? Who's got the toughest fixtures? We're going to be looking at all that and more in this video, but first let's have a look at ourselves and what we have coming up next month. So we kick off on the very first day of March, Thursday the 1st at 9 PM local time. That's the midweek match that we do have this week, Las Palmas against Barcelona, and this game should be, and I repeat should be, a comfortable one against Las Palmas. They're currently 18th place in La Liga, they're in the relegation zone right now, and they've suffered a really disappointing season. They've actually conceded the second most goals right throughout the entire league. 52 goals they've conceded in just 25 matches during the season so far. And not only that, not only are they conceding a lot of goals, they're very poor defensively, but they've also scored the second least goals too in the league. Just 18 goals they've scored in just 25 games. And when you're conceding a lot and you're not scoring, obviously you're going to be in trouble, and that's what's happened to Las Palmas this season. Very poorly run. They've been brilliant in recent seasons in La Liga, but this season it's all come to a stop. They're right down the bottom, and they're really having to fight now to stay in La Liga. And not only that, but we have a good record against them. We should certainly be confident in recent years. We've gone there, we've done well, we've played them well at home as well, so we're very good against Las Palmas. And I think the teams that we used to face, you know, in the past have been at a much higher level than what Las Palmas are right now. Obviously, we don't want to underestimate anyone, but we would certainly fancy our chances going into this game. And simply because of where Las Palmas are, what they're doing right now, I would probably expect some rotations from Ernesto Valverde. Not too many, but just a few, just to keep the squad fresh, simply because after this game, just 3 days after this game, we do face one of our biggest tests of the month by a country mile. It's Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid, Sunday the 4th of March, 4:15 local time in Barcelona. And it could be argued for sure that this game could well and truly decide the La Liga title. And I say that more on our side than Atletico Madrid's, because I think if we win this game, or even perhaps if we avoid defeat in this game, we would be looking at the title thinking it's very close indeed. Currently, right now, there's 7 points separating Barça and Atletico. Barça winning, of course, on the weekend against Girona 6-1. Atletico Madrid beating Sevilla by 5-2. That was an absolutely incredible game that happened yesterday. But you'd expect a tough fixture in this one. You'd expect Atletico Madrid to come, to be very compact, to sit deep. You know what Simeone's like, you know the way they play. They're never ever an easy opposition to face. But I think going into this game, we would have a bit of confidence. We would certainly feel as though we could avoid defeat against Atletico. Obviously, they're a very tough opponent. Like I said, you know, this season they've been strong mostly throughout the campaign. I think they started the season a little bit slowly. They've had a few blips right throughout, both in the league and also, of course, the Champions League. They went out early of that. They're now in the Europa League. I think they've been much better since the turn of the year. You know, Diego Costa has come in January. They've given him a different dimension in attack alongside Antoine Griezmann. Both of those are playing really well, not only individually but also collectively up front right now for Atletico. And it's not just about the way they go forward, the way they score their goals. Of course, Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone, it's about what they do at the back. They're very strong defensively. They've always prided themselves on what they can do in terms of keeping the goals out first and foremost. I think they've been very shocked actually to concede the 2 goals they did last night against Sevilla, but at the same time they probably would have been very shocked that they actually scored 5 goals at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. So Atletico in really good form right now, but the same could be said for ourselves. You know, we're coming into a bit of a good form. Great performance against Girona. Hopefully we can kick on now, continue that against Las Palmas, and we would arrive at the camp now feeling like we could definitely avoid defeat. Hopefully we can beat Atletico Madrid in this game, and if we do that, we are very close then, I would feel, to the La Liga title. And what I would say as well about facing Atletico Madrid at the camp now, I think it would be a very similar game, and almost a trial run really to when we faced Chelsea at at the Camp Nou as well in the second leg of the Champions League. We're going to be coming on to that game later on in the video, but simply because Atletico Madrid are very similar in philosophy to Conte, Simeone. They're similar sort of styles. They'll sit deep, they'll try and be compact, they'll try and really pack the centre of the pitch and be really, really defensive. But much like Chelsea will have to do, as we're going to come on to, Atletico Madrid also feel in this game maybe they'll have to divert away from that type a little bit, simply because they will know if they want that title, they're going to have to win this game. And to win this game, they're going to have to score a goal. So we might see Simeone having a bit of a problem. You know, is he going to go out and try and get that goal? Or are they still going to sit deep and maybe accept the draw and accept their fate? We're going to have to wait and see. But I think this could be a really, really good game, obviously for the league, but also looking ahead to that Chelsea game, it might give us a good bit of preparation. Then following the Atletico Madrid match at home, we do have a valuable midweek rest. We don't face Malaga at La Rosaleda until Saturday the 10th of March. That'll be a 6-day break between those two games. In between these two games, though, it has to be said, there will be the Catalonia Super Cup. That's going to be played on the 7th of March. What I would say about that game, though, it's obviously not a competitive match as such, and I wouldn't really expect a lot of the regulars to be playing in that game. But on the Saturday 10th of March, we do face Malaga at La Rosaleda, and certainly a trip that in the past, going to Malaga, has been very, very tough. We've had certain problems there. We haven't always been successful when we've been going to Malaga. But having said that, much like we said about Las Palmas, this is a very poor Malaga team right now. Very, very poor indeed. And I think we'd certainly be in confident mood going there right now, simply because of the state that Malaga are in. They're currently rock bottom of the La Liga table. They've scored just 16 goals in the league this season, and their season has been really, really woeful. Much like Las Palmas, badly run, some poor signings, they've sold their best players, and there's been very, very little to celebrate on the side of Malaga this season. And I have to say as well, they're cut adrift at the bottom right now, and it doesn't really look like any change. You know, the Segunda Division is a real possibility right now for Malaga, and next season it looks like a good chance right now they're going to be relegated. And I think the only thing really that could stop us from getting the win in this kind of game, even though it's been a difficult place to go in the past, I would certainly fancy our chances as long as we turn up and have our mind on this game, because of course after this match we do face Chelsea. But like I say, I personally think that 6 days rest that we have in between this Malaga game and the Atletico Madrid game, that'll be really, really valuable to the squad. Valverde can rest some players in that time, they can have some time off, and it's really important then that we get the points against Malaga and move on to the big one that is Barcelona against Chelsea. Wednesday the 14th of March, 8:45 local time in Barcelona. And of course the second leg of our Champions League round of 16 clash with Chelsea. We are currently tied at 1-1 in this game, but of course we know we have the advantage courtesy of that Lionel Messi away goal at Stamford Bridge last week. And obviously with Atletico Madrid, these two games is definitely going to be the biggest of the month. Atletico Madrid at home, Barcelona against Chelsea, those are going to be the massive games of the month, and we'll want to arrive at this game in good form. We'll want to be playing good football at this stage. We'll most importantly want to arrive full of confidence. And I think Chelsea's performance on Wednesday was really good. You know, we spoke about that. They played very well. They defended solidly. They went forward in numbers. They did good things when they went forward. But like I mentioned after that game, I'd be really, really surprised if Chelsea even matched that level at the Camp Nou on a bigger pitch. They might have to come out. And not only that, they certainly didn't match it on the weekend at Old Trafford against Man United. Yesterday, they lost 2-1. Willian, once again, was on the score sheet for Chelsea, but they were nowhere near the kind of level and the kind of intensity that they showed against ourselves. So it's going to be really interesting, I feel, to see how they arrive, you know, in this game, what sort of form they're on, simply because they also play Man City in their next game, which is also going to be a really, really difficult game for them. Semedo, though, will not be fit for this game. He's been ruled out, unfortunately. Really gutted about this one for 5 weeks. Unfortunately, that has happened, so we're going to have to keep Sergio Roberto fit and fresh for this game, make sure that we're rotating him, because we need him to be fit. Our only available out-and-out right back right now, we need him for this game. I'm also hoping that we see Dembele in the weeks to come, in the games to come. I think he could definitely play a part in this game, whether from the start, whether from the bench, but I just think we need to be seeing him in the games to come, and hopefully he can score his first goal and have a bit more of an impact in the coming games as well. But like I spoke about with Atletico Madrid, I think it's really important here that we put the emphasis on Chelsea. Chelsea have got to come here, and they know they have to score. If they want to get through this game, if they want to progress in the Champions League, they know they've got to come to the Camp Nou and score a goal. So are they going to come out? Are we going to see a different side to Chelsea? Are they going to leave some spaces in behind? Whatever happens, we've got to be ready to pounce. When they come out, we will be ready to strike. And Chelsea have got a real dilemma about the way they go about this game and how exactly are they going to get through this. Our job, of course, is to make sure we don't let them. And the final competitive game of the month will be Barcelona against Athletic Club at at the Camp Nou, Sunday 18th of March at 4:15 local time. That's 4 days after the Chelsea game. We're once again in action at the Camp Nou, and it's always a really good fixture, this one. Barça, of course, very proud Catalans, Athletic fans very proud as well to be part of the Basque region, and it's always a good occasion. But on the footballing side, Athletic for me have suffered a pretty underwhelming season. They're currently 12th in La Liga, and I think it's only really in the last week or two, where Athletic have started to really get it together. Under their new coach, Zaganda, I don't think they've been very good at all. I don't think they've really had a clear idea about the way they want to go about things. I think they've really missed, actually, Ernesto Valverde, that sort of steady leadership at the helm of Athletic. They haven't really found it so easy this season, but in the last week or so, they progressed to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. They saw off Spartak Moscow, some very good performances over 2 legs there. They also beat Malaga at home yesterday to continue that sort of mini revival right now. But their run in the Europa League for me is very, very key, simply because they'll be taking on Marseille just 3 days before this game. So whilst the Chelsea game for us, which will be in this midweek, that could leave us with some fatigue, it'll be exactly the same, if not even worse, for Athletic, who will be playing Marseille in the Europa League on the Thursday. So we do possess a very strong record against Athletic. We'll certainly once again be very confident going into this game, and I think, as always, at the Camp Nou, in any sort of league game against opposition around the mid-table sector, we will expect to win this game. And for sure, even coming off that Chelsea game, hopefully we can win that, get through that, and then you're bringing some confidence and some momentum into this game as well. But that's basically our 5 competitive fixtures during the month of March. 1 in the Champions League, of course, 4 in La Liga, and also the matter of the Catalunya Super Cup along the way. But as promised, we are now going to take a look at our rivals fixtures: Atletico, Real Madrid and Valencia, 2nd, 3rd and 4th in the league. And we're going to take a look at who has the toughest fixtures of the month. So I've basically looked at the next 4 league games for each of those sides, and as you can see here, quite clearly, Atletico Madrid have by far and away the toughest fixtures of the next 4 games. They face Leganés at home, Barcelona away, Celta Vigo at home and Villarreal away, whereas Real Madrid face Espanyol away, Getafe at home, Eibar away from home and Girona at home as well. So some interesting games as well there for Real Madrid. Eibar away will not be an easy one. Girona as well, though, of course, they lost in the reverse fixture of that one. Valencia also, obviously, I don't think really a title rival right now, but the same, to be honest, could be said for Real Madrid. But ideally, in an ideal world, he would like probably Valencia to finish above Real Madrid. So Valencia in the next 4 games have Athletic Club away from home, Real Betis at home, Sevilla away and also Alaves at home in that time. And so those are basically the fixtures of our rivals in La Liga. And the question is now, who has the toughest fixtures? As you can see quite clearly there from Atletico Madrid's side, it is them. You can see there, of their next 4 opponents, their average league position is 6.5. So around 6th is what they're facing in Leganés, Celta and Villarreal, and Barça, of course. Very, very tough games. Real Madrid have the 2nd toughest fixtures overall. Espanyol, Getafe, Eibar and Girona, pretty much mid-table sides, all of them, but none of them, I would say, easy tasks, apart from potentially Espanyol, who always seem to roll over for Real Madrid. Then there's Valencia, 11.25 is their average place of their opponents, and then ourselves, apparently, according to the stats, according to the league table, we have the easiest fixtures on paper for the month of March. So we should certainly remain confident. We are on course for the league title. A win or possibly even a draw against Atletico Madrid would stand us in very, very good stead indeed. And of course, we want to progress in the Champions League against Chelsea in that vital 2nd leg clash at the Camp Nou. So let me know all your thoughts and your comments down below, guys. What do you think of the month ahead? What are the standout games for you? What are your predictions for this month? How many wins do you think we're going to get? Are we going to drop any points? And are we going to keep our unbeaten league record going? So leave all your thoughts down below, guys. I will see you very, very soon indeed with more videos. Thank you very much as always for joining me and for all your fantastic comments. I will see you soon. But until then, as always, Vesca el Barça!